Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm back with my first ever cook with me video. I really want to start like a little mini series on my channel where I film the simple meals that I enjoy eating. My family, as in me, myself, obviously me and myself, P and Neil. I'm not a fussy eater per se, I just know what I like, and Neil's a different ball game. So whenever I cook meals, I cook for myself and P because Neil is such a fussy eater. He literally eats freezer food. There's no point me cooking him this meal you're now about to watch because he won't even contemplate eating it. So whenever you see meals, it's always for myself or for P, or both of us. I enjoy the foods that I cook. Some of them are like Slimming World inspired meals, which you'll see in the future. Some are just comfort foods. I'm not the best chef. Half the time I don't know what I'm talking about. Some of you have requested me to make like more foodie videos and things like that. So I thought now that we're getting into sort of like the colder season, I want warm comfort foods. I thought it was time for me to whack out my camera and attempt to be a bit chef-like. So you'll have to bear with me with the setup. I really hope you enjoy this video. It's probably really simple and basic for a lot of you. So I'm going to stop with this intro and let's get on with the video. So this is my first ever cook with me, so you're going to have to bear with me with the setup and everything like that. And it's also my first cooking video I've done in this house, I think. So for the cheese sauce, you're going to need like your standard saucepan. Look how beaten my saucepans are. So you got that. Then I do it all by guesstimate just because I've made it so often. But you need 1 tablespoon of flour with I want to say it's 10 grams of butter, but I just put in like a little dollop, like a little knob, which I'll show you in a minute. I just use like normal butter. You're obviously going to need some cheese. Grated is best, so just grate it. I started grating before I then decided that I was going to film a video. I use extra mature cheddar just because that's what I like and I prefer stronger cheese. And then you are going to need, I use semi-skimmed milk, and they say to use about 200 ml, but again I do it to eye. So I'm just going to go through the steps as to how I make my cheese sauce. I know it's quite basic for a lot of you, but I do get so many requests saying how do you make it, so that's what I'm going to do today. Put your heat on your pan. I put it on 4 because I'm using electric, but just do what you want. And then what you want to do is melt your butter and let that sort of cook through, warm through. And once it's warmed through, you're going to want to do 1 tablespoon of your plain flour. It has to be plain, can't be self-raising. Don't know why, because you know I'm not a chef, but just take my word for it. That, you see that is probably enough butter, maybe a little bit more. Maybe just like a teaspoon. You have to excuse my voice as well. I'm currently suffering with a summer cold, which is rubbish. I need to let that warm through. I hate electric hobs because they take so long. I need to invest in some induction pans, but they're just so expensive. So now I will be cooking this with fusilli pasta, which is the twists. You can use penne, you can use whatever you like. Spaghetti, whatever your preference is. I just prefer, and P prefers, fusilli. And I will be cooking this alongside some broccoli and some bacon. I love bacon sprinkled on top. This is one of my guilty pleasure dinners when I'm not feeling very well and I just want comfort food. This is what I go for. So once your butter mixture looks like this and it's all melted and it's all cooked through, make sure that it doesn't burn. And what you want to do is add your 1 tablespoon of flour. I'm actually going to move you forward a bit so you can see. Can you see that? Probably it's a weird angle, but let's just go with it. So 1 tablespoon of plain flour, in it goes. Okay, so what you need to do is combine the flour with the butter. Now what this is called is a roux sauce. Again, I'm not a chef, I'm not a professional, but my dad sort of taught me the basics when I was younger. So it comes together like this weird dough. So once it looks like that, just leave it on the heat, warm it through, that's fine. That's what you want it to look like, a weird doughy buttery paste. Not very appetising, but just trust me. So you can hear it starting to sizzle, you probably can't. When it starts to sizzle and you can see that it's starting to cook through, what you need to do is add your milk. So I do it drop by drop, like I said, roughly about 200 ml. And what you do, just pour it straight in, and then you want to mix it all together. Now, as you can see, it will go really claggy, really weird, quite sticky. And the flour and butter mixture will expand. So as you can see, it's pretty much doubled in size. And then go again. This is the bit that I always used to get wrong, and it always used to be really bitter. But the main thing you need to do is just be patient, small doses, and then you'll be fine. So like I said, small bit of milk, break it up, mix it in again. Basically just want to keep on doing this until you've either used up all your milk, but like I said, I'm doing it by eye because I'm not too worried about portions, because whatever I don't use I will freeze, because you can freeze this, and it will eventually go runny. As you can see, it is starting to become more of a liquid as opposed to it sticking together in that paste balls type of texture. There are still some lumps in there. You can pick them out with a spoon. I've just picked one out there, or you can just beat them in and they'll eventually sort of dissolve and you won't need to worry about it. But like I said, don't go too heavy with the milk, because if there are lumps and you've got too much liquid, you won't get them out. And I have had multiple times where I've had to get a strainer involved, which is not the one. Okay, so as you can see, I am now at the stage where it is just a runny liquid. And what you can do is add in the remainder, if not extra milk, because this will thicken up. This is the roux. It will thicken up once you have added the cheese. So just bear that in mind. So don't go too crazy with the milk, because if you make it too runny and you don't want too much cheese, then you're a bit stuck. So that is probably enough for me. Maybe a little bit more. And what you can do is just leave this to simmer. So I'll turn it down for a couple of minutes, and then you can add your cheese. Add my cheese. As you can see, it's still warming through. So what I'm going to do is add it a handful at a time. Like I said, I've grated it. I might not have enough. Might need to grate a bit more. It just depends on how quick and how thick and how it tastes, etc. So literally just add a little bit at a time. And then it will literally just dissolve. Yeah, I'm definitely going to need to add some more cheese, but this is what I mean when I say be careful about the milk, because if you put in too much, you'll potentially need to use a whole block of cheese to thicken it out. And at this point I add in my seasoning. So I literally just add in black pepper and a tiny bit of salt to taste. I just feel like it brings out the flavours a bit more. So I'm going to let that cook for a minute whilst I add in my salt. and my black pepper. I don't add too much into the big old batch because I do then put black pepper on my own portion anyway. P used to really like this, and this is a really good dish to do for myself and P, but she decides that she doesn't like it anymore, so I have got her a little pot of carbonara because she prefers carbonara. My pan of water is on. This is still going on number 2. My bacon is in, and I have just put in my broccoli and water in my Sistema microwave steamer. I highly recommend these. These are fab. So that will go in for 4 minutes when I need it to. I have tasted my sauce and it's not cheesy enough for me. I have grated the rest of my cheese that I've got, so that's going straight in, and hopefully that will bulken and thicken and make it a bit more cheesier. Now I'm going to add in my fusilli pasta.
Yeah, for me? Yeah, but I hope you subscribe to the channel, and I hope I see you later. And I've got some in.
No, it's too hot. So everything is now ready, so I'm starting to serve up, and I need to drain my pasta. Okay, so how I like to do mine is take 1 ladle, and I just get 1 ladle full and pop it in my pasta, maybe a little bit more actually, because I've done quite a lot of pasta, and then mix it all in together. Now you can grill it underneath the oven if you want to. I think I've overcooked this cheese sauce. Never mind. Yeah, if you want to put it in under the grill with some cheese on top, you can do, but I personally like it like this. And then what I do is I have cut up all my bacon bits. Oh, whoops. Such a professional. Pour that in there. And I like to mix that in with my delicious cheesy sauce. Enough for another portion next time I want it. I'm going to pop this back on the heat so it can warm through. I have done a deconstructed version for P with carbonara, so it's nothing groundbreaking because it's not homemade. That's P's, which I'm now going to give her because she went off cheese sauce. There we have it. I have obviously done my portion far too big, but I'm not gonna lie, I thoroughly enjoy pasta and cheese sauce. Every single mouthful. I've got broccoli down the side there as well, and like I said, I will top it with a bit of salt and pepper. Not the most appetizing to look at, but oh my god, is it so tasty. So leave me a comment down below, let me know if you do this. Like I said, you can freeze it, it's good for children. I just absolutely love it. If you enjoyed this cook with me, let me know if you want me to do it again. I'm a novice and I don't know what I'm talking about, but I enjoy the food that I do make. Okay, I hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in my next video.